Hi, my name is Marcin Gil. I'm working for CloudFerro, and I will show you how to create a Windows Server virtual machine and access it from Windows Desktop. I will be using Windows 10 in virtual machine because I'm using Ubuntu Desktop. So I will be creating the virtual machine from my Windows 10 and virtual machine already on my desktop, but the resources will be created on CREODIAS site. So first I will log in to CREODIAS by choosing CREODIAS site. I need to log in. Of course, if I'm not registered, I should first register. After logging in, I have access to various resources on my customer page, customer portal. So I will now choose the option from the menu. It's called Your Cloud Environment. And this redirects me to another page. This page is called Openstack Dashboard, and it will allow me to create resources. I can either use OpenID Connect or Keystone Credentials. Using Keystone Credentials, I need to enter the domain name, username and password. And using OpenID Connect, I can just click Connect and it will use SSO to log in to the Cloud Dashboard. The first page that shows is an overview which shows the limits of my project. On the top, I can see that the project is called Test Project. Cloud_02722 is the name of my domain, and if I open this menu, I can see that there are also other projects of mine. However, I will use this one, the test project. Of course, I can create new projects as well. And if you want to also rename or create new projects, please look for some tutorials on our CREODIAS page. So now, first step is to go to Instances. And click Launch Instance. I will give my instance name test. Next step is to go to source. We can choose how the instance will be created. The choices are image, instance snapshot, volume and volume snapshot. The basic one is image, and we will choose this option in this tutorial. And here you can see various images that you can choose from the predefined images in our resources. Of course, you can create your own, you can upload your own image if you want. However, these images are configured to operate with Openstack, so they are specially designed for this. So we will choose in this tutorial Windows 2019. Now this image is already chosen. We can choose whether to create new volume or not. By default, the option is chosen as no. If you want to have bigger system disk, then we can click on yes, and we will have the option of changing the size of the system volume. But in this tutorial, we will choose the simple solution, so create new volume no. Next step is to choose the flavor, that is how big the virtual machine will be. We have several choices. We can use simple virtual machines, or virtual machines based on AMD processor. The DS Large is another machine. It's called dedicated server with local disks, and we have also HMD virtual machines, which are virtual machines with local disks attached to it. There are also machines with GPU. So in our case, we will choose EO1 large. Another information is that these yellow triangles, they show that this flavor is not proper for the image that we have chosen or is not available. So in our case, the smallest one is EO1 large. So we will choose this one and go to the next step. It is to configure the networks. In our project, I have two external networks. One is external 2 and the second is external 3. They differ with the floating IPs attached. So in external 2, most of the floating IPs are already occupied, allocated, so we will choose external 3. And if we want to have access to EODATA, that is to satellite products on our virtual machine, then we should also choose this one, EODATA. After having this, we will go to security groups, because in our case we do not need to do anything with network ports. So just click on security groups. And we will need to add, you can configure access on various protocols and ports. In our case, we need this group, which allows us to ping to the machine, and we can also access it by RDP protocol. In case of Linux, it would be also helpful to use this one, because this allows us to connect by SSH protocol. But in case of Windows Server, we will use the RDP. So I choose this security group, and that's all for configuring the Windows virtual machine, because we do not need to add keeper, which would be needed if you wanted to access a Linux machine. Now I click on Launch Instance, and the machine is being built. As you can see, there are two subnetworks attached, EODATA and private network external 3. I will show you the network configuration. So if I click on network and network topology, I can see the two ways of representing the topology. This one is maybe more easy to see. If I toggle labels, I can see that my test virtual machine is connected to EODATA and to private network, and through router of external free network it is connected to the world, and another router is not used, but we could use it as well if we had free floating IPs. So now I go back to compute instances, and the next step is to set up the password for Windows Server. So I click on the menu on the right and click on console. This is the simple Spice console. It's called Spice, and it allows us to access the server from the browser. It is used for very basic actions because it doesn't have copy and paste ability, and it is rather slow. So we will just use it for setting up the password, and then we will use another way to connect to the to this server. Okay, so I can see that the server is already been created. As you can see, when I move my my mouse, and the arrow on the console is in another location than my arrow, so it's very difficult to operate in this console, and this is unfortunately such a feature of this Spice console. So what I need to do is to go to some corner and then go slowly to the place where I want to click. So I use, now I click OK. And click OK on new password and enter the password. Tabulator moves me to another field. And now click on the arrow, submit, and OK. So the password has already been set. And now we will connect to the server using RDP protocol. So I click on the start with the right. I can also use RDP, remote desktop, choose remote desktop connection. Sorry. I forgot one more important thing. The instance does not have an IP address attached, so I have to go to instances first. And attach floating IP. So on the right, on the menu, I click on Associate Floating IP, and now I can, if I have an IP allocated already, I can use this one, or if not, I can click on the plus sign and then choose the pool of addresses that I want to generate the floating IP. So if I click on external free and allocate IP, it will allocate another one. But in my case, as it is already present in my project, so I can choose the one that I have already used before on some other occasion. And now I have to choose to which port it should be associated. So please do not associate it to the port connected to EODATA, because then you would have error. You need to associate to the port of private network. So I choose this one and click associate. Okay, so now I can copy the address and go to remote desktop again and paste the floating IP and click connect. And now the username is administrator and the password is the one that we have chosen before. Click OK. Confirm. Yes. And as you can see, we are connected to the server. So the best practice is to, oh sorry, not this one, but this one. Okay. It is good to change the password to the stronger one, because usually when we are using the console in the browser, it is difficult to enter long and strong password. So and now having remote desktop connection, we can do it using copy and paste and use the password generated in our password manager, for instance, which is highly advised. So I click on the start with the right button on my mouse, choose computer management, and now click on local users and groups and users, and on administrator right click again and set passwords. Proceed, and now put some stronger passwords from my password manager. I can copy and paste it. Now I will disconnect to check whether it is working well. So okay, and go to remote desktop again, connect, and paste the password from which I used lately. Once again confirm, yes, and okay. I'm already logged in using my remote desktop. As you can see, this is the same address as here, and I can use my virtual machine. So now I will show you how to access EODATA. When we click on the file browser, File Explorer, in this PC, I can see that there is disk C. However, there is no EODATA attached as another disk. So I can use the script that is on the desktop and click this double click on this script, and this the disk should be mounted. However, due to some problems, it can occur that it's not mounted yet. So I can close this and use a workaround, that is run the command line, command console once again, and copy another command. This command will clear the situation, and we need to wait a moment for attaching the new disk. Once again, click on Mount EODATA. It should take a moment. We'll close and open again. Oh, it didn't work. So once again, okay. So it worked now. And as you can see, the repository is attached as network file system. When I double click, I can see the catalogs with satellite products. It will take a moment, just a moment, we will see. Okay, as you can see, these are various products available in our repository. So Sentinel, Landsat, NVSat, and some other. So if I go inside, we can see the products, various products in the catalogs. So you can do it in your processing of satellite products. You can install the software like Snap, for instance, or ArcGIS to process the data. So now I can close this. Thank you very much, and you are welcome to see our tutorials on CREODIAS site.